found or dug out all of my stuff. I'm cleaning everything up. The luggage, I'm gonna put like tools and stuff. If I ever go on a vacation, I don't care if I have scuffed up luggage. I got it through family who got it on sale. I don't care. But old cheap luggage. And I got a big one um, right here. And then the plastic toolboxes are just garbage. But I'm going to store everything in containers. I got some kind of dusty funk that you always know it's there, but all of a sudden you get a whiff of it, and then now I gotta get rid of it. So, well, I was gonna paint the bedroom anyway. This whole closet in the bedroom's just about empty, and this whole room is gonna be like another living room, and the bedroom's going in that back room. So I'm getting everything, uh, going through shrunk I'm a tall guy, so shirts shrink up, and half of them are unwearable because my belly button shows. So I'm throwing out tons and tons of stuff. A bunch of stuff. Well, not too much. Has come in the mail. Propeller came today, so I gotta wait for the motor. It won't really fit. I gotta buy some little part to get these things to work. I got some more coming. My LEDs. I like this color. I never knew they had purple. Back when I was in electronics, there was only a few colors available. Turn the light off. Well, the viewfinder screen looks terrible, but it's purple. Purple, purple. And undo my greens. Oh, everywhere. These will be really cool. Oop, hard to hold. But if I get a whole bunch of these on a rechargeable system that shines pretty good light for one little 3-volt LED. And I have red. Red is your lowest voltage, easiest to produce light LED. I have, it's like a bluish white. And I have, yeah, it's like almost like an aqua white. And I got blue and yellow, and last night I wired them all up with the resistors. Destroyed my soldering iron. I mean, it's toast. Not gonna do a few more things, but come on, yellow. Are you backwards? Yep, this one's screwed up. There, we got a nice yellow one. But okay, got my fuse block. So solar panels hooked up on this side, and then the line on a diode is the butthole, the tail end. So there's a design where it's a little D and then a line. You want it to look like a funnel, and it can only go that direction. Uh, Played music all last night with my solar charged batteries that were charged from me working. So now I have music. I don't know how fully charged they were, but they're like 1.25 volts, and I just threw them in. You can hear a little bit of a distortion. Means batteries were going dead. But for a good long while, I had it loud and worked fine. So I'm going through and looking up all my old flashlights, converting everything. I got a bunch of extra little batteries. Just going through everything, make sure it all works, clean the contacts, get rid of old batteries. I'm just making a gigantic mess. But everything's getting wiped down, everything's getting cleaned, thrown away. Does it work? If it doesn't work, I'm tearing it apart, getting parts off it, getting it to work, or it's throwing out. I took like 4 bags last night and throwing out like dirt clods along with. So yeah, stuff's coming along, but I gotta redo. I'll show you. It's called a cold solder joint. It's not very good. So if you ever have a problem with something, and here's one, there's another one. The detail you really can't see on these, but if you see like a solder that's solder, however you really want to pronounce it, SOLDER, but nobody in the electronics industry ever calls it solder. The only guy that does is the owner of the company, and they're usually freaky motherfuckers anyway. But if you see a non-shiny solder joint, say you got some device, even a gigantic circuit board, if there's like one little spot that looks dull, it's a cold solder joint. You just take a soldering iron, get really hot, not these crappy little ones, and touch it, and the contact will be made, and it'll go back to being shiny. I had a company I worked for made street sweepers. There's a new movie called R.I.P.D. The street sweeper in that movie. I worked at the factory that made those, and they had this giant press brake. It's like 12 foot long, and it just bent like 1 inch sheets of pieces of metal, or like whatever, but yeah, up to like an inch, and it went down. Well, the circuit board was tested, but that little tiny section didn't go through a test. So when they had this thing for years, then they came up with a new operation to test, and it operated that part of the circuit board. It failed, and then they paid some guy $1,000 to come to just pull a board out and swap in a new one, and paid like $1,000 for the new board. And then I looked at the board and I saw, oh, little cold solder joint here, and then they had some parts that were the transistor was like put in backwards and blew up. So they paid thousands of dollars to have this thing fixed, and all it took was looking real close that, oh, it was just a simple little error. So here's another one. If you see like clumps, it didn't have enough heat. and the solder just kind of got on there. But show you how garbage this is. You know, it's just eating away off just a few LEDs, which took me all night. Twisting wires. I made bridge rectifiers. As long as they're all facing the same direction, the lines on the same side, you're good. I got solar panels charging some batteries while I'm working. I gotta figure out how these things mount and get those things going. It looks terrible, but overall, I got cabinets that are completely empty, plenty of room, everything's getting clean. Um, yeah, it's just some kind of bacteria or something that's causing me to breathe harder. Not just the damage that I'm doing to it intentionally. But that's getting better here in another day or two. So I'm happy. I gotta just make sure everything I got is being used to get rid of it. But that's the update for today. Alright, if anything comes in, I'll make something else.